for my house have evolved even further than the tree houses in the house. So the house is supposed to have my own, everything that I want to have in it. A 3-car garage for my vehicle. The other garage door has our at-home gym equipment, and then the other one has room for another vehicle or whatever, the kids' bikes or whatever they have or need or what have you. So, yeah, that's what I came up with. And I started calling general contractors because if I'm going to find a piece of property to build this house on, I need to consult with some true professionals. I need to know, number one, how do we find these houses that have trees that are large enough? I don't want it to be like an ugly prison tower. I don't want that. I want a really great, really earthy vibe, but still classy and modern and fun. I want it to be very elegant. I like the contrast of black to white. I like stone. I like all of those things. Granite. I like all of those things. But I still want to keep the tree and the earth, and the greenery and the kind of, not ruggedness, but like the earth as a part of it, like all of the things that I'm drawn to. Mind you, I am the earth element, Capricorn. So I've always had this really weird, love for earth kind of, not tones, because I really like gem tones better than earth tones, but like earth materials, like when I was a little girl, I used to always want wood floors instead of tile floors. And when I was growing up, I used to always love the smell of wood, like when I would go to Home Depot or like Menards with my mom or dad or grandma or whoever. And like the smell of fresh cut grass and like all of that. Well, rocks and stone and boulders and all of that, those are all, equally as earthy as soil and grass and trees. Those things are naturally occurring in the earth, in the earth. So anyways, I think that my plan for my house is really, really great. And I think that it is really similar to who I am as a person overall with regards to a fashion aesthetic and vibe. So with that being said, what was I going to say? Oh, I started calling these general contracting companies. And basically in doing so, my goal was, okay, I've already got my house designed, right? You go in and you have your entryway with a double staircase, and I didn't really want it to be like a mansion, but I wanted it to be a luxurious size so that my children and all their friends could, have their own space there and be happy. So I wanted up the stairs. I wanted there to be to the right or to the left, either way, my bedroom and bathroom with my husband. And like the bathroom has like a big, deep bathtub for soaking with a view of the window, a view out the window, and then like a stand-up heated shower, a steam shower with rainfall. And then to the other side, whether it's the right or the left, would be my children's rooms. So all of our bedrooms are on the same floor, just on different wings. And then on the first floor, it's basically just the foyer entrance to the garage, the kitchen, which is huge. The kitchen is huge. It has a huge island, granite countertops. It has a big double sink. It has all of the, cook things that you would want. And then the kitchen table is kind of like not like a picnic bench, but it's like a very modern, clean bench on one side with chairs on the other side. And it's like a long table. And then we have a formal dining room also. And then the living room on the left side across from the dining room. And then when you go into the basement, it's just like a total kid zone, except for the one room that is on kind of like the split level when you're going down from my bedroom to like the dining room, kitchen, living room area. There's kind of like this back room that's my office. And that's it, right? So I would have room for my children. They would be able to accommodate a sleepover or what have you, and it would be great, So that's my thought. Well, about 3 months ago, I started deciding, okay, if I'm going to start, because they say it doesn't matter if you have the money in the bank right now or what you're doing right now or what's going on. Just start the process of doing whatever it is that you want to do. And as you find out that you have to do something, come up with this or come up with that, then address it as it comes up, right? So I start calling these subcontracting companies. I'm also pitching AI, implementation, new business development, and website development to these companies. So I get on the phone with this guy and I start describing what I'm like looking for, but I need to add in that when I buy my property, I just had another revelation. Rather than building a second house in the same area, in an effort to give the backyard the accessibility of being a chill spot with a fire pit and a like sitting area, I don't even need to do a pool. In trade-off for pool, because that's like extra maintenance and all of that, how about I have these basement remodelers come in? Have you guys seen the Teletubbies? How they live, how there's like a hill with a door and like they go in there. And so how about if on the same plot of land where I have my house, rather than making it a double plot, I build an underground kind of like living space. Have you guys seen those where they take what are those things called? What are those things called on the backs of the trucks? Trailers? No, storage? I don't know. Those like big boxes that they make, like train cars. They go on train cars or they go on semi trucks. Those like big, long, like rectangle boxes. There's this social media posting that went viral that like kind of like made me start thinking about this. They remove the ends off of the containers and they put 4 in a rectangle and they do like a below ground Zen garden in the center, and then they carve out room for like windows. I could have literally 4 of those storage containers with the indoor Zen garden and access to come up for my family, and I don't have to worry about building a second house. So I'm trying to like communicate this to the guy that this is what I want. What's the price tag on this, so that I could start trying to fundraise, or, so that I could start fundraising or earning or, selling this idea for myself and my loved ones and start making progress. This has been, if you go back to 2015 when I was on the phone making these receiving these promises for my life when he came home, this is not something I made up overnight. We're in 2026. I've been carving a path to get here for a long time. It's been over a decade, and I have not given up. You can't give up on your dreams. If you give up on your dreams, you'll definitely never get there. So anyway, that is like what I'm supposed to be doing. And then it's like just so many problems are solved because number one, the tree house is are total like glamping style, they have the accessibility that you need to basically do almost anything. Wash your hands, they have running water, they're indoor, they have lighting, etc. The house is there, like for my children and I, we live there, it's great, everything's fine. The underground area is the perfect escape for any of my friends or family members or anyone who if I want to go down there, whatever. So I have enough space on that one plot of land to accommodate all of my people. And we don't have to worry about hotels, and we don't have to worry about, these things. So anyways, I get on the phone with these guys, and I've been creating a spreadsheet. I asked ChatGPT to create me the most lucrative, I think I said 10 to 30 businesses in the Chicago area incorporating or for the topics of contracting, general contracting and construction, entertainment, and med spas. And I've been calling them, pitching. I put all of these companies in a database in an Excel sheet, and I've been, pitching to them AI implementation, if they're asking, do they have it? What EMR or what electronic health, if it's med spa health system, if it's contracting, what electronic database are you guys using to store, what CRM are you working with or what have you, trying to just gather more information, get a better field for the demographic from day to day and for the technological advancements that are being permitted, et cetera, and so forth. And they wouldn't give me any info. He wouldn't even allow me to get through explaining what was going on, and he just hung up. It was like so annoying. So I don't really have an accurate, understanding of where I should even begin looking for this land. I think it's definitely going to be important to look for the land, because if there are some rules like, it can't be too close to a river, or, for building underground, I don't know what the rules are for building underground. You know what I mean? So how can I even begin to even look for something if I don't even know what the rules are? So anyway, and so that's what I've been doing. I walked around, several different establishments today, inquiring as to whether or not they were hiring. And they've all referred to scanning a QR, which is great, other than I have been submitting electronic applications since 2020, and not a single one has brought any sort of success. So it's just been a real pain in the ass with regards to that, because that the only job I've been able to do since 2020 without being stalked, harassed, or chased into my place of employment has been, application-based, delivery-based, or person transportation-based, or what have you. Despite my overwhelming amount of experience and fabulous, stellar, phenomenal resume. So I am a little frustrated. I did get word that they have, in fact, paid off my entire car in exchange for the Cadillac, which pissed me off. They didn't give me much of a choice. They said that they let some other girl drive the Cadillac because they're trying to recreate or write music for the time period when I was living in my car, in 2020, right after Dylan came home, and they did everything that they did to me. Basically, all of those nefarious people who have been cooking audio and video, they have been trying to confuse the record, and supposedly they brought my Cadillac back to Chicago. It was at the Wrigley Field police station in Chicago. I called them. I asked them to speak with someone regarding my car, how it got there. I was working with a Dylan Hansen, the attorney Dylan Hansen, to recover my vehicle. I paid it off in full. No one paid a payment for me. Charlie Keene didn't pay a single payment for me. I paid myself. I gave Charlie Keene the cash and used his debit card because they were doing fraud out of my bank account. No one paid my car off for me. I paid my car myself. And they just took it, and started using it. Well, then they bring it back, and that car, for whatever reason, it's just, I don't know why they would park it right there the same day that Xavier and I got there. And then refuse to return my phone calls. So that was just incredibly, upsetting that they did that. And I'm not quite sure where to go, from here with recovering the vehicle. But then they said, oh, don't worry. They didn't want to take the Nissan. They said that the Cadillac was a better car anyways. Why would they have given someone else a choice which one of my vehicles they wanted to keep or use? Like, this shit makes no sense at all whatsoever. And I don't know. I'm hoping that we can just somehow find a way to either realign or to get these people who are not aligned on the same page, or to classify them as being misaligned so that they can go away, for real. Because it's too much dealing with them. They're really bad. They're really, really bad people. So anyways, that's what's been going on. Xavier, I'm not quite sure where he is. He refuses to get in the car, not in an angry way. It's just like he wants to, but he can't. I don't know why. And I can't even park in Chicago right now because of the fact that I already paid all of the tickets that they said that I owed, but they continue to say that I owe more and assess, future payment plans and all this stuff. And then the higher authority came down and said, we're not doing that anymore. Remove this. You're not, extorting Heather for money anymore. Like, those days are long gone. It's, go, fuck off basically. And, and they've been here for it. So I'm really not quite sure what's going on any day to day. But I guess I'm all right, so for the most part. So, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. But if you guys, I've not limited myself with regards to employment. I feel as though I deserve to have access to my own money when I need it, when I want it. When I go into Sephora, when I go into Ulta, I look at things. There's really nothing that I could carry around with me. Because I can't, the only thing I like there is perfume and like a few hair products, but I already have the small versions of those. I have my Laneige, I have my foundation, I have my palette for my eyeshadow. So I try to look and think, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And when I go to these places, and there's really nothing, it's just the vibe and, doing the quality assurance checks that I enjoy. Until I get my house, I can't really accumulate, and so that's where we're at with it. But anyways, I'm going to run in and use the restroom. I appreciate everyone who has been helpful thus far. And if someone could please try to check in on Xavier. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. It's very confusing for me. I definitely cannot go through these circumstances again. It's been just very scary from day to day with regards to where I'm at. I just can't believe that I am, just in this situation. It's just like a nightmare. But I don't know.